Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now December 22nd of 2023, and given that Disney has been going through a lot of box office disasters throughout all of this year, not just limited to Indiana Jones 5, Ant-Man 3, but also the latest, such as Wish and the Marvels, that really kind of sealed the deal, negatively so, for 2023 by Bob Iger and the rest of the board of directors over at Disney. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. So, everything revolving around Deadpool 3. We know that Disney views this movie as their last saving grace, at least for the Marvel Cinematic Universe within 2024. And they're placing all bets on this movie to make some level of a profit that could actually be a new starting point, essentially, for Iger and the rest over at Marvel Studios, like Kevin Feige. Now, we already know that there's a lot of creative differences arising between those like Rhett, Reese, Paul Wernick, Ryan Reynolds especially, going up against the Disney heads, including Iger, and how they are making this push to use DEI in the third act of the film, as well as a lot of alterations coming into this film. Let's discuss the latest, exactly why Ryan Reynolds has actually recently headed into argumentative conversations with Iger and the rest of the board, so to speak. Now, to top things all off, we already know that Deadpool 3 is something that is considered Ryan Reynolds' baby. This is something that he has wanted to make for many years since Deadpool 2 to kind of wrap it up as an entire trilogy. However, with Disney still struggling throughout all, of course, 2023 and whatever days are left now, Bob Iger and the board of directors are already heading into serious damage control for all brands. One major development has to do with Ryan Reynolds and the ongoing Deadpool 3 drama. As it turns out, one crucial update to this ongoing situation involves a recent meeting that took place between the writers of the film and the Disney higher-ups, where Ryan Reynolds reportedly fell into heated and argumentative conversations with those like Bob Iger, for example, by dialing down on their usage of Wolverine in the third act of the film as originally planned. Iger recently, of course, forced to move and cut down on scenes featuring Hugh Jackman for the third act is what ultimately led to Ryan Reynolds in a back-and-forth argument with the Disney heads in a desperate move to protect Jackman's role as Wolverine that was supposed to hold a specific valued ending that has now been quickly cancelled by Disney due to several factors that went into Iger's decision. Now, the shift by Iger is to focus on one of the major cameo characters in the third act and its value to the character's direction above Wolverine's. Not so surprising, however, Hugh Jackman also had issues with this direction, but left it to the writers to take a stand against Disney heads in a desperate move to reinstate the original plans for the big climactic piece of Wolverine that was originally written by both Rhett Reese, Paul Wernick, and with the help of Ryan Reynolds, adding in the final touch that was planned to be something special for the fans. To make matters even worse with all of this drama is that Disney recently made the green light to cancel a total of 10 cameos from the third act of the film that were specifically added in by Ryan Reynolds. This comes in part due to the fact that Disney is cutting down the running time of the film drastically, and with that came with a massive cut for Wolverine and his relevance in the final act of the actual movie. Now, Ryan also has serious disagreements with Bob Iger after Disney made their quick decision to also alter the entire ending for Wade Wilson, aka Deadpool, as well for one of the post-credit scenes that is now receiving a complete different treatment forced by Disney. Now guys, let me just pause here quick before I get to the big conclusion about this. It's not a big surprise that they are dialing back on their usage of Wolverine, on their usage of Hugh Jackman in the third act, to focus on a different glorified cameo. We're not quite sure exactly who that's going to be as of yet, but a lot of fans have been wondering exactly who may very well fill in that role. People think it's going to be X-23 taking over Hugh Jackman's relevance in the third act. That's possible, though we have no confirmation on that, other than the fact that Disney is dialing down and watering down the screen time of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in the third act specifically. This is why Ryan Reynolds is not happy with how the last portion of the story is actually coming out and about by Disney. So what's interesting about this, further, is that Bob Iger, anything that he touches, there's proof right now that anything that he touches just comes to ruin. Look what happened with the Marvels, or Wish, Ant-Man 3, and let's not forget about Indiana Jones 5. All of which he actually dialed down also on funds for the marketing and blamed the marketing in the process post-release date of those movies. And it really just goes to show a lot of common moviegoers, as he likes to call them, or customers, that they really have no interest anymore in these brands like Star Wars, Marvel, and just Disney in general when it comes to their remakes, right? It's all because of Disney, it's all Iger's doing, and yes, some people could point the finger at Chapek for starting the fire, but there's no doubt about it that Bob Iger did not help water down that fire at all. In fact, he basically added fuel to the fire, and it's really not showing any kind of resolution or any kind of a rebound in sight for 2024, let alone for 2025, which is going to be filled with failures as we speak. So, moving on, surprisingly, this was going to be yet another joke about the ending, made about Disney by Ryan Reynolds and a mockery of Mickey Mouse at the end of the film for the post-credit scene, something that Bob Iger and the board felt would only damage the company after all the backlash that they received after Elon Musk and his call-outs against them, the Daily Wire, and even South Park Studios. They are now officially in a very delicate position to the point where they are playing things very safely. Ryan Reynolds, as of now, is aggressively attempting to have Disney bring back those scenes before post-production comes to a close by around May of 2024, before its July of 2024 release date window. This in turn is creating more tension between the Deadpool writers and the Disney higher-ups, as Bob wants to reduce spending on the film along with the insertion of DEI into the third act. And not a big shocker, but Bob Iger has also been pressing on a delay from July of 24 until either August or September of that year. Now, look, it is a very tight schedule, I will agree, and I would not be shocked if Bob Iger gets his way of getting this movie delayed until August or September, because think about it. They want to wrap production, or principal photography I should say, by the end of January. Now it's looking to be early February. That gives them just a short couple of months to pretty much add in all the special effects, the CGI, all of the like. And even ramping up the marketing. All in a couple of months, alright? We're talking about February, March, April, May, at 4 months' time to kind of get that really wrapped up before they begin marketing this thing in June ahead of its July release date window. So it's tight, yes, and I would not be shocked if Bob Iger ends up forcing a delay until, like I said before, August or September as he is pushing for. Another reason why Ryan Reynolds is not happy about that move. So again, you know, this is not surprising at all in the least, and I would love to hear what you all have to say about this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.